So my friends at Fenestra Winery in Livermore were able to put me in touch with Santa for our San Francisco Bay Area Moms Holiday Extravaganza. And I know Dr. Fauci says that Santa is immune from the coronavirus, but I am not, and I'm not taking any chances. So we decided to do a Zoom meeting and call. And he's really busy right now anyway, so this was just easier than having to figure out travel. So hi, Santa, how are you?
We're very good. We're doing well.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, my pleasure.
Good. Awesome. And it looks like it's snowing up in the North Pole, which is great.
It is.
Good
just
news.
Just enough for Christmas, not to keep us from our business.
That's excellent. Good. Perfect. So Santa, I know when we talked, you agreed you would read us a story.
I will, yes.
So why don't we start with that? And then I've gotten some really fun letters from some kids in the Bay Area, and we're hoping you could answer a few of their questions, but we'll start with the story first. Boys and girls, here is our friend Santa reading us a special Christmas story.
Okay, well, the story I've selected is a real classic. It's 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It's by the poet Clement L. Clark Moore. Here we go. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw out the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear? But a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. With a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up in the housetop, the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and I was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, and right jolly old elf. I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye, a twist of his head, soon let me know he had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger on the side of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, and to team he gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Thank you, Santa. What a treat. Yay. That was amazing. So I hope you're ready for some fun questions that we got.
I am.
So, so we'll see. Kids say the darndest things sometimes.
I know. I've heard them. I had a little boy last year sitting on my lap, and he says he wanted a yo-yo. And that was just not exactly what I was expecting, but he got his wish.
There you go. Yeah. That's so fun. All right, Santa. So the first one is from Alice, and she wants to know how old you are.
Oh, that's a really good question. You know, I've been around for such a long time, as you can kind of tell with my beard and all my makeup and everything. But it's just been so long, I can't remember my age. I try to recall all the memories of each Christmas, and I get so overwhelmed with them that it just doesn't seem to matter how old I am anymore. So I'm not exactly sure how to tell you how old I am, but I don't feel that old.
That's good. And that's what's probably the most important, isn't it?
As it sure is. It sure is.
Good. And so Maddie wants to know, and this might involve some information from Mrs. Claus too, but what do you eat for breakfast?
Oh boy, I'll tell you, on Christmas morning, I just love a plate of pancakes with syrup, strawberries, along with some vanilla yogurt and hot chocolate with whipped cream.
Ooh, that sounds good. That's enough to keep you going, huh?
It is. It really works. Absolutely.
Let's see. This one is from Kendall, and she wants to know, what is your favorite holiday? And then she says, see you soon.
Okay, well, we'll see you soon. Absolutely. Well, my favorite holiday is Christmas, of course. And this is the time I get to see the smiles on children's faces. They see the season decorations and experience the love they get from their families and friends.
That's wonderful. Oh, thank you, Santa. Thank you for sharing that. Christmas is a very special season. And I think for us this year, perhaps a little more than ever, it has a really different meaning. So thank you.
And I hope I can bring a difference to the families and the children that are experiencing what we're experiencing today.
Yeah, and I know you will, whatever it might be that they're looking for. I know that you have a lot of elves, not only in the North Pole, but throughout the world, who are trying to help make sure that little boys and girls' wishes come true and they get what they need for the holidays.
Yes, a lot of helpers are out there helping out. Yes.
Yep. That's wonderful. Okay, so this one is a little silly and kind of made me giggle when I read it. But Brendan wants to know, what if I was good for most of the year, but not all of the year?
Well, you know, Santa's kind of an 80-20 rule guy. Okay, so we are not all perfect around here. And I'm sure that it's okay with me, since I know you made up for it in some way that was even greater than when you were naughty. So I know, just no worry about that. I know you're a good person.
We are not perfect.
That's right.
And nobody is perfect.
No, that's for sure.
You do have to give yourself a little bit of grace sometimes, and it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next one comes from Steffi, and she says, Dear Santa, what should I leave you when you bring presents to my house? Cookies, milk, and carrots, or something else?
Okay. Well, I'm not real fussy about this one. You know, what I've looked for is just a little snack in between deliveries. It would just be perfectly fine. So cookies and milk are fine. Chocolate chip cookies are my favorite, but anything else will do also. All right, because they'll all go fine with milk. Then, as mentioned, I just like a quick snack before I go on to the next delivery. Something for the reindeer would be appreciated. Maybe a couple carrot or celery sticks would be appreciated. I know they would.
Perfect. Yeah, you have that big breakfast and that gets you going, but you do need to have a little bit of stuff throughout the whole day.
And sweet treats are very appropriate at this time.
That's right. That's right. It's good. It's a nice way to celebrate.
Huh?
Okay. Marcos wants to know, and I know we already talked about a little bit about elves, but he wants to know specifically how many elves live with you at the North Pole.
Oh boy, that's a hard one because we keep adding elves every year. But according to my chief elf Bernard, there are over 90,000 elves busy getting the presents together for my trip on Christmas Eve. So as I go along, I pick up they've got them all stacked up very nicely for delivery. I pick them up and I move to the houses in the area, and then I go to the next area and pick up the next stack, and we make the deliveries from there. So.
90,000. So boys and girls, that's 900,000. 000. So that's a lot of elves.
It is. And you need a lot of help getting the presents out there in 24 hours. Well, not even 24 hours.
That's right. A lot of elves and a lot of magic.
That's right. A lot of magic. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Braxton wants to know, Dear Santa, do you know the Grinch?
Oh, yes, I do. And he's not that bad a guy, since I know how to make him appreciate what I do on Christmas Eve and the whole Christmas season. He starts out kind of grumpy, but then settles down when he sees the joy that Christmas season brings. So
Yeah,
it's always a good experience for me to see him kind of turn around a little bit and enjoy the season along with the rest of us.
that's right. Probably a little bit like Ebenezer Scrooge too, and from A Christmas Carol.
That's right. That's right. The season has a way of turning people, make them happy and make them do the right thing. So.
That's right. That's right. And our last question comes from Tyler. And Tyler wants to know, Dear Santa, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Okay. Well, it's probably the one that a lot of people like. It's called The Miracle on 34th Street, and that's my favorite. It shows the spirit of Christmas season. You may watch this one with your family members so you can see the looks on their faces when they recall what they grew up with. I also like Elf, Home Alone, it's kind of funny, Christmas Story, it's hysterical, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas for the reason why I mentioned before that I know the Grinch.
That's right. So those are good runners up. So that's a nice list. But yeah, the Miracle on 34th Street. Wow, that's been
Well, how long
50, 60 years, maybe longer. It's in black and white. So yeah.
You'll learn what black and white is if you've never seen that before.
That's right. That's right. You will, boys and girls. Yes. So that's great. Well, Santa, is there anything else that you want to share with the boys and girls in the Bay Area before we sign off?
Well, you know, the Christmas season is a busy time for your moms and dads. So please help them out the very best you can. When they ask you to do something, just say yes and help them out with all the decorations and maybe some of the prep. It's probably a good time for those of you who maybe not do some cooking with your mom and dad to go ahead and do that. Setting up the tree, getting the house ready, and you know, getting it decorated in a nice way would be a lot of help, and I'm sure they'll let you do that with them. So,
yeah, well, and because we are kind of stuck at home right now too, it's nice to make it a little extra cozy and festive.
Absolutely.
And yeah, because we're spending a lot of time there, so put a little extra into it and helping your parents. That's wonderful.
Absolutely. That's the best way you can help them out there.
That's great. Well, thank you, Santa, and thank you, Fenestra Winery, for making this connection for me. This was amazing. And let's see, today is December 11th, the day the boys and girls are going to see this. So just 2 weeks until Christmas Eve. So rest up, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, you sure will.
Thanks.
I'll be thinking.
Bye, Santa.
Bye-bye. Merry Christmas, everybody. And for those
Merry
of you,
Christmas.
Feliz Navidad. Yes.